Dealing with sunspots, age spots, all the dark spots. I'm going to talk about 5 things that can worsen that after you turn 50. Let's talk about that.
If you're here, then you woke up today. And that is a blessing. Don't take that for granted. Don't waste it.
Welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa Galloway. This is Beauty from Inside and Out. If it's your first time here, welcome. So excited that you stopped. Clearly you're having an issue with dark spots. If you've been here before, thank you so much for being here. Listen, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. I am here to talk about all the beauty things that I've experienced along the way into my 60 years. And I so appreciate that you are here giving me a little bit of your time. Okay, let's get into this, right? So let's go and start immediately into my first one. 5 things, right, that can worsen hyperpigmentation after you're 50. It just seems like, why is it getting worse? Let's tackle this a little bit. Okay, first one, guys, this is going to be of no surprise to you, but let's just dive into it just a smidge. Skipping on sunscreen, but not just skipping on it, skipping it on days that may be overcast, cloudy. You know, I have been a culprit to this, honestly, because I live clearly in a state where it just rains quite a bit in the summer. It's very humid. There's days where it's like the sun is out, but it's covered by a lot of clouds. And I don't know about you, but sometimes that could be so deceiving because you're like, well, the sun isn't directly hitting me. But do you remember the times when you would sit out, lay out at the beach, and you were enjoying just being out? The sun wasn't necessarily really hot because there was a lot of clouds. And then all of a sudden you go back home and shower and you're like, how did I get so burnt? Where did all this like sun tan come from, right? There's something about that. Like you just seem to kind of like lean away from just reapplying your sunscreen to even not putting enough on. You clearly do not want to be like this person that's like covered under everything, right? Umbrella, the hat, the whole, you want to enjoy being out in the sun and just have to like measure everything appropriately. Don't stay out too long. Just add the sunscreen, right? Use the one sunscreen that you know that you're going to put on habitually, like automatically, like it's a habit. Like you do not like skip on that at all, every single day. But clearly if you're going to be out in the sun for a long period of time, then just whether it's a cloudy day or a sunny day, wear the darn sunscreen. It's something that you've heard before. So moving on to my second one, over exfoliating. I know this is a tricky one because once you're past 50, your skin sheds less, right? It doesn't turn over. And so we're needing to having to exfoliate. But I think the over exfoliating, that's where it becomes a bit tricky. It can irritate and it can trigger post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Also when it comes to exfoliating, I've always reversed to saying that everyone is different and you need to do things that are going to be perfect for you. I choose to exfoliate in many different ways. Sometimes just kind of experiencing with what's going to work for you is that you're looking and you're seeking to trying different things and figuring out what's going to be the best fit for you. I know I've talked about this one for so many times here on this channel, and I will bring it back because when I want to feel like I am trying to remove like that top dead skin layer and I can feel it, that something's off, right? Because either my makeup's not going on right, and clearly my brushes are clean, so it's not that. It's because I need like something. It doesn't have to be harsh. I go back to this, and this is something you can get on Amazon. It's called Cure. I am so sure this is, if you look it up on Amazon, it is like the one product that gets like repurchased over and over because it clearly works. It is to me, the most softest way of exfoliating. You put this on dry skin, you rub this onto your skin, and it just that top dead skin layer just balls up. You rinse it off, and I tell you, your skin will feel baby soft, baby soft. And the nice thing about this is that you can do this twice a week, once a week. I think of going back to the whole over exfoliating is when it comes to like, harsher, aggressive scrubbing. And so it's a real kind of like funny subject when it comes to exfoliating, but at the end of the day, just be careful not to over exfoliate. Okay, moving on to number 3, which kind of falls in line in this area, and it is using too many brightening ingredients. And I think the biggest cause for that inflammatory pigmentation to then kind of like come back is when you're trying to put too many things in one skincare. There should be like a way of how you're applying your skincare. So for an example, being very careful that you're using like a vitamin C and a retinol, right, ingredient. So, and I'll kind of get into that as far as even vitamin C, like when I'm talking about like the really quick AM routine that I do and that I think that's really appropriate for someone 50 and over. But just mixing that, like that can cause for sure the whole thing to spiral out of control when it comes to like hyperpigmentation. Exfoliants, going back to that, like whether you're doing that on a day that you are putting on that vitamin C, and just being really cautious. There's a ton of information out there as far as like the order of application, also what not to mix when you're putting on your skincare. And I think that when you first start out doing your skincare routine, I know I've been there, I've done this, is that you are excited to dive in and to kind of get started, and then you do too much too quickly. And what you're trying to target, which is your hyperpigmentation, gets so out of control. So again, just being careful the ingredients that you're using for brightening up your skin tone. Okay, number 4 is trying these like peels on your facials to remove like hyperpigmentation or exfoliants, like just peels that are DIYs like at home. Just being so careful on what you're doing, reading the ingredients on what you're choosing to put on and following it to the way they're telling you. I can be really guilty of this too. I can sometimes go in and not read how to even apply it, and they'll tell you right there, like on the label in the back of the product, and you're like, well, this should be simple, it's a piece of cake, right? Just take the time to even read how to apply that, because that right there it will save you a lot of heartache in the future, as far as then having to reverse and then take it easy and stay away, and then having to restart your skincare because everything's gotten out of control. But that being said, when you choose to go to get it done professionally at a clinic, right? Really talking to the person and having that kind of one-on-one that day, taking the time to ask questions and having them explain. And if you don't understand something, like ask them to explain it to you, what exactly it is, how it works, what they're gonna do, kind of step by step. Because even there, lasers and peels, if you're dealing with hyperpigmentation, that can also become, then it gets worse before it gets better. And maybe that's not what you want. And maybe that is. Again, it's just about like just taking a little bit of time to just having that conversation with the person that's going to do these procedures or these treatments or however they are, right? Again, I feel like when you go in, you know what to expect. In the process afterwards, you're not going to be disappointed. You're not going to be disappointed in how much time it takes to take care of the issue that you went in to get, right? So just searching for someone that you trust, whether it's from someone that you're getting it recommended from, to doing some research and some background on the person that's actually going to do the procedure on you. It's your skin. You're the one that wants the results that you want, so don't be shy to ask. Okay, the fifth and final one, guys. This one's a little bit hard for me because I love fragrance, and I learned through reading this book on this physician that really targeted not only hyperpigmentation, but hyperpigmentation on pigment that is darker tone, like I am. And there's so many things that may not necessarily work for me that works for someone else. Someone that has darker skin, I have to be super careful. And I've noticed how perfumes in skincare has triggered my hyperpigmentation. So although I love fragrance, and what I've had to do, unfortunately, is just leave the fragrances for my body and like my hair products, but not my skin, because especially on my face and on my neck and chest area, because they're being exposed to the fragrance that is definitely making my hyperpigmentation darker or even just multiply. It is insane. And it took me a long time to figure that one out. I was using this one particular brand. I'll put the name here. Love the brands. Great products, but they were all fragrance. And although I loved it, it really wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. And I battled with that because I kept insisting that I wanted to use the products, from its cleansers to its serums. And I was just beating a dead horse. It was just ridiculous. So maybe on this one, whatever is your choice. If perfume is higher on your want list, then and it's something you're willing to sacrifice, then by all means use the fragrance in certain products. Like maybe that doesn't affect you personally, but some fragrances in skincare can definitely trigger and just make hyperpigmentation. It's already a beast to handle. I feel like I can eliminate certain things that I already know that's going to make the situation a lot worse. So now for like a real simple AM routine. I think that if you already have a nighttime skincare routine that you're doing, then when you wake up in the morning, unless you feel like your skin is oily, you can just go ahead and splash some water on your skin and go into your sunscreen. If you're needing some moisturizer, you can do that a little. Listen, I used to do the vitamin C when I first started. I don't do vitamin C anymore. And I do my skincare that I'm targeting certain things like my hyperpigmentation in the evening, and we'll get to that to the PM. But AM, simple, right? It should just be a wash. If you're needing a wash, then I would maybe just use, I've mentioned this one before, the Prequel. I think it's really, really good. It's a really big bottle. It'll last you a long time. You can put this on and then rinse it off. And again, still go in with what I mentioned with like your moisturizer if you feel like you need it. Most sunscreens already have something that will keep your moisturizer intact, so maybe you can even skip that. Again, just your preference, because everyone's skin is different. And then of course your sunscreen. Sunscreen is so important. Like that should not be missed. As I mentioned earlier, I will personally use most days something that has a tinted sunscreen in it, because of iron It's called iron oxide. Okay, so we have like the zinc dioxide and we have the titanium, right, dioxide. And that's great for like the ultra violet UV rays. Okay, so that's wonderful that that's in there. But then there's the iron oxide, which helps with that visible lighting, right? Not just the UV. So it helps target the hyperpigmentation and the melasma and all those fun dark spots that you're trying to like keep at bay or just kind of keep neutralized. So kind of read into your ingredients in the back of the bottles and seek for those particular like ingredients. I personally have used this one for so long. I will leave it alone, then I come back. And I think the reason why I personally maybe don't use this brand anymore, but I used to, and this is something really great to start with, it's very affordable. It is the Australian Gold Botanical 50 SPF tinted face moisturizer. It's lightweight, it's matte finish, hypoallergenic. Now, it's a matte. I've become someone that is more of like, I like a glow to my skin. So I prefer having something that has that in my in my sunscreen. But I did this one for the longest time. And again, primarily for that reason, because it was a tint, it was high in SPF, and it was affordable. Like I said, you want something that you're doing, that you can do on a habit, like, and if you're gonna choose something that's too expensive, then sometimes if you're trying to make a decision about getting a sunscreen versus getting something that you need for you or for your family, then you're not gonna get it. So get something that you can stick to getting on a regular basis. Okay, so that's the morning. The PM, now this is when I target definitely more of my issues. I think really it's when we should, because what happens, I've said this before, when you are resting, when your body is at rest, is when everything is just working, right? It's healing. And so that's when I think these products, these ingredients will sit on my skin better and on a clean face, right? While I'm resting. So I choose the PM to target whatever I'm targeting. So what do? Okay, cleansing. Let's go back to cleansing. I have mentioned this also, and I really like it due to the fact that the less is more for me. I really believe that in everything, whether it's makeup. And so this particular pad, I like it a lot. The way you use this is so easy. You just run this through water. It's a circular little pad. It's really, really soft. It's great up to 200 washes. I'm gonna put this in a link in the bottom so that you can get it. It's very, very inexpensive. You get two, I think, for like $20. But the way this works is that you run this underwater and you get it wet, and it removes all of like your makeup. Now, this isn't the first and only way to move the makeup, but this is a great way to remove your makeup without using like a secondary product to strip your skin. And easy to wash, and you just hang this up and then you can reuse it again, and you can toss this into your wash. And if I'm really, really funny, just an extra note on this, side note, I will use, and I bought these like nets on Amazon that has a zipper, and you can throw like more of your personal items in there that you don't want them to get caught, like, you know, on the wheel inside your dryer or your wash. And it protects that. So like you can put your bras in there, right? I don't know how many times that's happened where it's got a little claw clip has gotten like jammed. But put these in there. Or like your facial smaller washes. Doesn't get lost with the rest of your clothing, and it kind of just keeps it nice and protected. But this is the first one that I will use for that first wash. And then I will go in with either that prequel, or I use also, and I should have gotten it, but I'll put a picture here. This is a hyperpigmentation wash that I will put on after I do the first wash. So double cleanse, really important. Once I'm done and my face is nice and clean, then I will go in, guys, with this product from and I'll have all the links below on this. But until I finish this, and this seems to be working, and I have still quite a bit. One thing, another side note, I think that for me, because I enjoy trying so many different brands, that can also be another big target. And this could maybe be like my 5th and a half. I can be guilty of trying too many things and then my hyperpigmentation just getting out of control. When you find something that works for you, just stick with it. And as far as my hyperpigmentation, I had to go back to this because it was really helping my hyperpigmentation. We're on this journey differently. So find yourself, if you're dealing with hyperpigmentation, find yourself something that has ingredients targeting hyperpigmentation. What do I mean by that? Perfect example is like with my eye cream, and it says it right here on the bottle. Alpha arbutin, kojic acid. It is 2 ingredients that help with those dark spots. So, not to mention so many others. There's so many others. I can put a list here of maybe even a few more that you can look for, whether you're getting it like through a prescription with a physician, or you're just looking at it in your ingredients on what you're applying for your skincare. So this particular cream that I started out with is a serum, and I use this like on my, it's super strong. It has a lot of those ingredients in there. I do this only twice a week because it is a stronger strength of ingredients. And the most important thing, you may think that's not enough time. It is. As a matter of fact, when you first start out, you really should just start out once a week. And even maybe like once, it's a gradual thing when you're working with skincare on anything, but even more so when it comes to all these dark spots, because consistency is so more important than strength on products or what you're putting on or the amount of products you're putting on. It's about finding the right thing that's going to work for you and then just being consistent with that. And that's why I knew that this was working, and I was trying other things because that's fun, but my skin will take a toll on that. So I went back to this one. This one's called Hyperpigmentation Retinol Repair Serum. It comes in a dropper. I'm supposed to shake it real well, but it's very, very dark. I don't know if you can see that, maybe on up against my white top. And I put this on twice a week. Once I have that on, I then go in with the, from the same line, and this is all from Celeste. Again, I'll have this in the bottom. This is an ageless retinol renewal cream. So I'll put this on to lock everything in, and then I will use separately this under eye hyperpigmentation, and same thing. So it's a ultra brightening eye cream. So I'll use that, and then that's it. If at the end, sometimes I may put on some type of like an oil to just even lock more in all that goodness, but that's it. Like that's what I'm targeting every, like twice a week. And then on the days that I'm not, I'm keeping it super simple. If I'm not exfoliating like once a week, and I'm not doing the targeting the hyperpigmentation, I will go in with the same steps as far as the cleansing. I use my circle cloth, and then I go in with the prequel for rinsing off, not that other wash. But then I go in with this Youth Accelerator Apple Stem Cell Age Reversal Serum. And this is so good. I've been using this one like daily. Sometimes I'll even put it on in the morning, but I generally do this one at night after I do my wash. And then after I do the wash, I just go in with a moisturizer. And that's simple, really simple. Like I have cut like my routine by a lot, and I'll do longer maybe if I'm in the mood to do, like, I don't know, just because it's fun or more relaxing. But as far as like being consistent, knowing that I've got to get my skincare routine so that my skin stays balanced, this is what I'm doing. This is a moisturizer. Is called Anytime, Anywhere. It's a time released moisturizer. This is so good. It's so lightweight. I love it so much now, especially in the summer where you don't want to wear a thicker moisturizer. This is so good. I wear it all over my face, down to my neck and my chest area. So these two are the only thing, and they're both from Soap Society. So I'll have all the links down below if you're interested in trying any of these. And some of them I do get a little commission off. Some of them I don't. So it's just, I just kind of go with what feels that works for me. And if you want to give them a try and you think that they will for you, that'll be like, make me so happy for you that you would find these things helpful for your skin. Okay, guys, that's it. That is like, I don't think this was super long. If you found this interesting and you want me to break down any more of these talks individually on something else, let me know in the comments. I thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And